We'll see it. That's again a recommendation for night.
You got to
show.
watch.
That starts a Demm report.
Well, it's all in Europe. We have this is first news from other countries. Spain. We've got Spain has submitted their entry now for the worst, strangest death of 2024. We take you to the town of El Pinel de Brai in Tarragona. Every year, shortly after Easter, the residents celebrate the Magdalena Festival. Before the festival begins, visitors are invited to climb the bell tower of the local church.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this past year, a 30-year-old man from Barcelona was visiting back in his hometown. He'd moved off to the big city, but his family was still in El Pinal. So he came back with family members. They went up to the tower, and shortly before 7:30 in the morning, the church bell chimed. Okay. Unfortunately for the 30-year-old man, the massive church bell smashed into his head.
Oh, what a way to go. Yeah, I assume.
Oh,
Wow. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah. Killed him instantly. And the town's mayor announced 3 days of mourning afterwards.
How horrible. I mean, can you imagine?
I can't.
No.
Although, in 2008, my wife and I visited wine country for the first time, California. And we decided to tour the campus of Berkeley. We were in Berkeley for lunch.
Yeah.
And we decided to tour the campus, and one of the tourist spots there, I think they charge you $1 to go up the bell tower.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of architecture, beautiful campus.
Yeah.
So we went up the bell tower, and we went up at 3 minutes to 1. Do you know how I know? Because at 1 o'clock, the bell chimed, and you couldn't hear.
Thank God it wasn't 11.
They don't tell you.
If it was 11.
Right? Thank God we had lunch first.
Yeah, really. Man, that would have been rough. It was
deafening, and they don't tell you that on the ground. The young co-ed at the ground didn't tell you that.
I have a terrific joke about a guy with no arms who was a bell ringer for a town square. Do you know it?
I think I do. I think I saw Pee Wee Herman tell Dave Letterman this joke. Who is it? I don't know, but...
I want to do it properly. Do you know this joke, BB?
Never heard the joke, no.
I'll have to piece it together. Kristen will correct me if I get it wrong.
Oh, it's been ages, but I remember dying laughing. One of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. And Pee Wee Herman told it masterfully.
I will not tell it as well as Pee Wee Herman.
Impossible.
And I am having a hard time remembering it because I haven't heard it in 35 years. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember the setup anymore. I just remember the punch.
I feel like I can set it up. It's just a guy. They needed someone to be the bell ringer in a town square in a little town. Okay. And a guy, many people applied, but a guy came with no arms who said, I can be the bell ringer. And they said, you have no chance at this job. You have to ring the bell by dragging a rope to ring the bell. He goes, I can ring the bell. I will run across from one side of the tower to the other and slam my face into the bell to ring it. And the town's mayor said, well, you cannot do that. There's no way you can do that. He said, give me a chance. I'll do it. So he climbs to the top of the tower. It's time to ring the bell. He runs across and slams into the bell, and it rings perfectly. So the mayor says, you are going to be our town bell ringer. There's no one else that can do this job. So the job goes beautifully. For years, they have a wonderful bell ringer who runs from one side of the bell tower toward the bell, slams his face into the bell to ring the tower. And when he does, the whole town knows exactly what time it is and how it is. And it's just a wonderful job. Well, tragedy struck one day. The man ran from one end of the tower to another, ran accidentally past the bell, slipped and fell all those many feet down to the bottom to his death. Laying in the middle of the town square, people rushed by, of course. And the first two people to get there come along and say, who is this man who lays on the ground? Do you know who this is? And the other man says, I don't know who he is, but his face rings a bell.
That's so stupid.
I know. But it's perfect.
Is that not the greatest joke you
That's
ever heard?
a good joke.
And I didn't tell it that well. I mean, Pee Wee Herman told that joke. I don't know him, but his face rings a bell. That's a great joke.
Oh, man.
I hate that man had to die for me to tell that
I
joke.
know.
Yeah. Still